So it is a rainy, stormy day, and I'm gonna do some reading. Just kidding, I might not. I started an Ember in the Ashes in last week's vlog, so I want to knock that out. And like I mentioned 50,000 times in my last vlog, I have a bunch of books that are due to my library, the ebooks that are due within like the next week. So I need to knock those out too. But I'm really liking an Ember in the Ashes. It is, I don't know, YA. It's not bad, it's pretty simple, but I'll talk about it later. But hi, happy to have you here, and hopefully we'll have some good readings this week. Yeah, that reading thing, I realized that my Kindle is dead. So I'm gonna pop my audiobook on for The Shining and play some Animal Crossing. Hey guys, it is 12:30 now, and I am 10 hours into my Shining audiobook, which means I only have like 5.5 hours left, and I'm super enjoying it. I am loving the like creepy vibe. Jack kind of already goes into the position and moving into the hotel with kind of already a messed up psyche, and he's kind of not a good person to begin with. And so seeing his like slow descent is so interesting. And I know that Dr. Sleep is more about like The Shining and, you know, the stuff with his son. So I think that's kind of why people don't like it as much, because it's like a totally different feeling, I guess. I'm not sure, I haven't read it, but yeah, I'm like super enjoying it. But I finished Animal Crossing. I did a lot of work on my island, and I'm still only at 3 stars, which is annoying, but I found some like recipe books, and I did a bunch of different, like I have a bunch of new recipes and stuff. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to find more. What? What? So I think I'm going to get some lunch, maybe watch some YouTube videos, and then get into an Ember in the Ashes. Let's chat, because I have some news. I think I'm gonna DNF an Ember in the Ashes. I am 20% in, and it's just not it. I'm not interested in it. It's just kind of boring. It feels like a Divergent, like, ripoff almost, and I don't know. I'm not digging it, and I don't want to keep reading it and put myself into a slump. So I think I'm just gonna give it up, and then I'm gonna step away, fantasy or whatever, and try something else. I think I'm gonna try to pick up a study in Charlotte and see how I feel. Guys, a little bit of an update. It is now 7 o'clock on Monday, and I got what? I got 20% of the way through, or I have gotten thus far 20% of the way through A Study in Charlotte. As you saw, I let the ferrets out and let them run, and I spent some time with Chris, and then I watched an episode of Tiger King. I can only watch like one episode at a time because I get so emotional about the animals that I just can't do more than one. it just makes me upset. So I am not hating A Study in Charlotte. It follows Watson and Holmes's great-great-grandkids, I think. Sherlock's great-great-grandchild is a girl, and her name's Charlotte. And then the boy, Watson's, is a boy named Jamie. And they meet in a boarding school, and then a murder happens, and they work together to solve it. It's not bad. I don't really like the relationship. They met, like I'm only 20% of the way in, and they're like ride or die for each other. And Charlotte is just like basically a carbon copy of Sherlock. Drug addict, plays violin, everything. They did not make anything about her different. So yeah, we'll see how I feel. I'm gonna read some more. My friends, it is Tuesday. I am 36% of the way through A Study in Charlotte, and I think I'm gonna DNF it. I've gotten like back-to-back bad books that I just wasn't interested in. First, I DNF'd A City of Brass in the last vlog. Then I DNF'd An Ember in the Ashes in the beginning of this vlog, and now I'm DNFing A Study in Charlotte. I don't know what it is. I'm like 36%. I'm 36% of the way through this, which is 108 pages of 327. And it's boring. Like, this murder has happened and they haven't done anything. And our main male character, Watson, is in love with Holmes for no reason. There's no character development. She's literally a carbon copy of Sherlock Holmes in every single way. They gave her no defining qualities, and it's just boring. Like, I'm just not enjoying it. So I think what I'm gonna do is finish The Shining. I only have 5 hours left of the audiobook, and so like 2.5. And I have some stuff on Animal Crossing that I want to do. I worked on it a little bit this morning, but I need to like rearrange my town a little bit, which is gonna take a lot of work and time, but it's fine. And I think I'm just gonna listen to my audiobook and then go from there and look at what I have for my library and see what I want to pick up. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not in a reading slump. I want to read, but I just can't. Hey guys, it is Wednesday, and yesterday I finished The Shining. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. I think that it exemplified everything that people read King for. The intricacies that we saw going into Jack's descent into psychosis was extremely interesting. And I like that we also got this play of the family's previous like defenses of, because they already kind of came into this situation knowing that Jack had an alcohol problem and he had been previously abusive, so they already were defensive, and then they also didn't want to believe that what was happening. But yeah, it was really good. If you don't know what The Shining is about, it's a horror book, and they're doing construction like in my neighborhood, but so it's a horror book about the Torrance family who moves into a hotel for the winter to like take care of it because it shuts down every winter, and it's like allegedly haunted and some crazy stuff happens. And the boy Danny, I think, he has special abilities called The Shining, which basically he can like read people's minds. He can just do a bunch of different stuff, and yeah, it's really good. I haven't picked up another book to read physically. I finished The Shining yesterday, and then all I did was play Animal Crossing, and I woke up today and not really feeling all that great. I had to go into work to do some stuff, but I played Animal Crossing forever yesterday, and then I'm probably gonna just play Animal Crossing today if I can put an audiobook on. it'll probably be Clockwork Angel, but I'm not really wanting to read right now, which is fine because it's the end of the month, but I do need to fill my wrap up because I don't think I'll be finishing anything. But I've been feeling like really anxious the past couple days and want to talk about my feelings. So if you are, and part of that is what's going on right now, so if you are, sensitive to this topic, then I'm going to put a timestamp across the bottom where I stop talking about this topic. I know I have watched several people's vlogs where they talk about this, and I didn't want to hear it, and so I ended up having to get off of the vlog because I just didn't want to hear them talk about it, and they just wouldn't stop talking about it. So I'm gonna put a timestamp there. But yeah, I live in the United States, and there are a bunch of states that are opening back up, and I get it sort of from an economic standpoint because we are going to go into a depression, definitely a recession, maybe a depression if our economy doesn't do better. Like my boyfriend, we invest in stocks, and so he watches the market all the time, and he's watching as it's trending downwards, and companies are just not doing very well, and so our economy is not doing very well, the world economy is not doing very well. But so to counterbalance that, a lot of states are opening up, which is scary because we are still in the throes of this and people aren't taking it seriously still, and it's just very scary. And I am anemic, I'm severely anemic, and that deals a lot with my immune system. I'm very susceptible to just regular colds and stuff like that. So I've been trying to distance myself as much as possible, of course, and the fact that my state might be opening back up before we really should be is really making me anxious, because that means that my company will open back up. We are a nonprofit, and so we have a staff of 2, and so we really rely on fundraising and things like that to kind of help us financially. And so if the state opens back up, then we would go back into fundraising and holding events and things like that, and being around people is part of that. And I feel very anxious about it, and I feel like we're not opening up for the right reasons. Like, people are seeing their governors and things say, you're safe, you can go outside, and they don't know that it's not because you're actually safe and this thing is good and we're good to go. It's because your governor is trying to save your state economy, and that's not a good reason for you to endanger people that aren't as healthy, or just people in general. And it just really concerns me, and it's made me very anxious. And it's understandable. I'm sure a lot of people are like, really anxious right now, which is fine. Like, you have every right to be anxious, but that's just kind of where I'm at. And I just have kind of thrown myself into video games. So I'm playing Animal Crossing, and I plan on replaying Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3 because that's like my comfort video game. I've always loved playing Kingdom Hearts. So I'm probably going to jump into a replay of those. And yeah, if I do any reading, it'll be on an audiobook. But that's just where I'm at. And I just want everyone to know that your feelings are valid. And if you are anxious and you're finding it difficult to be productive, or you don't want to read, or you don't want to do anything, I completely understand. As someone that finds that productivity helps my anxiety, things like cleaning and making tasks for myself generally help me, but I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with wanting to do productive things, which is, so yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. But if I read anything or anything crazy happens, I'll let y'all know. Okay, so I showered and I got a new hair moisturizer because I'm trying to do better with taking care of my skin and taking care of my hair and all that. And we'll see how I feel about it. But I think I'm going to pick up a romance. I have have the first 2 books on hold at my library, or from my library, of one of the Tessa Dare series. So I think I'm gonna start the first one. They're Regency romances, and that's all I really know. Hey guys, it's Thursday, and I am 20% of the way through The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. This is part of her, like, Regency romance. I think that's what she does, but, like, one of her series, I guess. I also finished Scythe by Neil Shusterman for my book club, the Cavorting Cats. And we will be meeting on Sunday to talk about that. And yeah, we are probably going to do like either a live or a video of us talking about it, so look out for that. And I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know if I completely believed the romance, but the rest of it was really good. Like, the concept was really, really good. One of our main characters didn't really get any development, but the other one's development was insane, and I'm excited to see what his development does for the rest of the series. So we're probably going to be starting, what's the next book? It's either The Toll or The Thunderhead, I can't remember. Next month, and yeah, I'm excited for that. As you saw in my last clip, I started playing World of Warcraft, WoW, because the newest expansion comes out in August, and they're doing, like, basically double, triple experience right now. And the character, my monk that I want to main in the newest expansion, is not max level yet. So I was grinding last night and probably will for a while to get her to max. And like, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I have been on Animal Crossing since 9:30, 10 o'clock, because I have been moving a bunch of stuff around. I finally got terraforming for my island, so I was able to do some stuff, and I finally got like a plan in mind of how I want everything to be situated, and I'm just trying to get everything right. Right now my island looks really bare because I basically went and picked up all the decorations that I had down, and I'm just rearranging everything. So yeah, it's a work in progress, and it's gonna take me a long time to get through it, but it's fine. But yeah, so I did not end up recording and posting my wrap-up, which is good because I read another book this month. I plan on doing that today and then jumping into WoW after I'm done recording and editing. And then I will probably listen to an audiobook while I'm playing WoW and while I'm playing Animal Crossing, because I'm still not done. And I'm listening to Clockwork Angel, and it's pretty, just like, love it. It's just, I always love it. And yeah, so that's the update. Morning, baby boy. What are you doing? Hello, my friends. It is Friday, and I have done no reading. I am still 22% of the way into The Governess Game. And I started listening to the audiobook of Night Circus. I'm like less than 10% of the way through that. And yeah, I haven't been doing any reading, but I did film, edit, and post 2 videos, so yay. And I played a lot of video games. My island's looking great. And I almost have my character to max on WoW. But I want to get cracking on my April TBR because I'm scheduling myself to read 22 books. So we'll see how that goes. I did read 22 last month in April because I've been working from home. And yeah, so I need to get cracking. So I want to read The Governess Game. I'm going to like slowly read. Okay, my arm's getting tired. I'm going to slowly read The Night Circus, like, until my loan is up. And I think I'm going to start Crooked Kingdom, which is I'm being max lazy with this camera work right now. The Crooked Kingdom, which is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. Yeah, even though I have a bunch of books from the library that I need to read first. But honestly, I'm about to go play WoW because I'm almost at max. and I need to start gearing up for August. But I'm gonna read the governess game in between, and yeah. Hello, my friends. It is Saturday. Yesterday, I finished the governess game by Tessa Dare, which is part of her Girl Meets Duke series. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It was really sweet. I thought that the atmosphere was really genuine. Tessa Dare has a great way of writing modern stories in Regency times and keeping it and making it feel very modern. I don't usually like romances that involve a love interest with a child, but this was an exception. It was very sweet, and our devilish rake was a good character, I guess. I liked that our female main character had some interest in astronomy. I thought that was very cool. And yeah, I didn't have anything necessarily wrong with it. It wasn't like the best romance ever, so it was just, you know, good. It was just average. So yeah, I got a little bit more into the Night Circus, and I am 16% of the way into And I Darken, and I'm not loving it thus far. It's pretty boring, but it's just now getting into the interesting part. So let me get myself together. Okay, so from what I gather, this story is about 2 siblings, Lotta and Radu, and their family was once princes. Their father was a prince, and they get overthrown, and I guess it is a political deal. We'll see how I feel about it. I'm not really one for political court drama, so we will see if I end up liking it. Like I said, not much has happened. They pretty much just got swept away from their castle because they're being overthrown, I guess. So yeah. Hey friends, it is Sunday, so let's wrap this thing up. So last night I ended up finishing the Duchess deal. I'll talk about that in a second. I have been editing the footage for this vlog, and I realized that I didn't explain the plot for any of the books that I read, so we will have to review that. But I DNF'd 3 books, I believe. I DNF'd An Ember in the Ashes, which is the story of a girl who her brother gets kidnapped from by their government, and she enlists the help of rebels, the resistance or whatever, that are trying to overthrow the government to help her, and they say, we'll help you if you infiltrate this academy of their soldiers. And then we get the point of view of a soldier in the academy. I didn't really like it. It was pretty boring. Yeah, that's pretty much the theme with all of the books that I DNF'd. I next DNF'd A Study in Charlotte, which tells of the great-great-grandkids of Sherlock Holmes and Watson. They meet in school in their private academy or whatever, and then murder happens and they try to solve it. Got 20% of the way in and nothing happened. It was super boring. And then I DNF'd And I Darken, which seemed to be an alternate history sort of deal with 2 kids, 2 different points of view of 2 siblings whose families were overthrown, and they are used as pawns, I guess. And I'm not really a political person, so that was pretty boring for me. And yeah, those are the books that I DNF'd. Let's actually talk about the books that I finished, because it's not a lot, but you know, it's fine. So I finished The Shining. This was a 5 out of 5. It was so good. I thought it was the best King book that I've ever read. It was chilling, it was gripping, it was very well written. Watching Jack kind of spiral was just fascinating. Watching his family's reaction. The hotel was very creepy, and it was just really well done. Then I finished Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This was a 4 out of 5 stars. This tells the story of basically humanity has overcome death, war, famine, etc. And in an attempt to control population, they have scythes that are basically like reapers, they kill based on a quota and on like statistics of the mortality time, which was before they overcame death. And we follow the story, we follow the points of view of two Scythe's apprentice, and it was really good. I don't think I wholly believed the romance. It felt a little, it wasn't love because they weren't in love with each other, but it was just like very quick infatuation, which is okay. And I thought that one of our main characters, Citra, who is the female apprentice, was vastly underdeveloped. She got almost no growth at all, but our other male main character, Rowan, had fantastic growth, and I think the ideas that he introduced are going to be great in the rest of the series, and I'm very excited to pick that up. We will be having our Cavorting Cats meeting, probably a video coming out with our discussion, so look out for that. Next, I finished The Governess Game, which is a book in the Tessa Dare Girl Meets Duke series. This is a girl who was a time like clock person, and she like winds clocks, I guess, and she becomes the governess of this duke and his two orphaned children, I guess. Not his children, but like two orphans. And he's like, he gets around really, and they have a romance, and it was very sweet. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I usually try to avoid romances where one of the love interests has kids, but this was really sweet. Our main character is very standoffish, and because of dark, mysterious things in his past, he, you know, kind of tries to shield himself away from attachments and things like that. But eventually the kids break through, and it's very sweet. And then I finished The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare. This is also in the Girl Meets Duke series, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I loved this. This essentially is a marriage of convenience. The female main character is a seamstress, and our male main character is a duke, and he needs an heir, so he needs someone to marry, and he doesn't want to marry someone that he cares about. That sounds bad, but he essentially is a veteran who was very severely burned on half of his body, and one of his previous love interests didn't react very well to his injuries, unfortunately, and so he believed that he was a monster, and it was very sad. And I thought the ending was very sweet, and I loved the relationship. You can give me any like sourly stoic man who's like emotional and soft on the inside, and I'll probably love it and like cry into my chocolate. Like that's just my soft spot. So I definitely liked it a lot more than The Governess Game. And yeah, I think that's all I finished this week. Kind of a bad week for me, but it's fine. I played a lot of video games. I got a little bit into the audiobook for The Night Circus, got a little bit further into the audiobook for Clockwork Angel, and overall it was a pleasant reading week. It wasn't too bad, probably a boring vlog, but you know, they all happen. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you didn't, that's fine. I would love if you guys comment any of your thoughts down below. If you read any of these books, let me know. I'm open for discussion, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks.